Letter 522 by Charles Lamb. PM 30 August 1830. Dear B. My address is 34 Southampton Buildings, Holborn. For God's sake, do not let me be pestered with annuals. They are all rogues who edit them, and something else who write in them. I am still alone, and very much out of sorts, and cannot spur up my mind to writing. The sight of one of those yearbooks makes me sick. I get nothing by any of 'em, not even a copy. Thank you for your warm interest about my little volume, for the critics on which I care, not the 500,000th part of the tithe of a half-farthing. I am too old a militant for that. How noble, though, in R.S. to come forward for an old friend who had treated him so unworthily. Moxon has a shop without customers, I a book without readers. But what a clamor against a poor collection of album verses, as if we had put forth an epic. I cannot scribble a long letter. I am, when not at foot, very desolate, and take no interest in anything, scarce hate anything but annuals. I am in an interregnum of thought and feeling. What a beautiful autumn morning this is, if it was but with me as in times past when the candle of the Lord shined round me. I cannot even muster enthusiasm to admire the French heroism. In better times I hope we may some day meet and discuss an old poem or two, but if you'd have me not sick no more of annuals. CL Exilia. Love to Lucy and AK always. The Literary Gazette, Jerdan's paper, had written offensively of album verses, and its author's vanity in the number for July 10, 1830. Southey published in the Times of August 6 some lines in praise of Lamb and against Jerdan. It was Southey's first public utterance on Lamb since the famous letter by Elia to himself, and is the more noble in consequence. The lines ran thus. On the review of his album verses in the Literary Gazette. Charles Lamb, to those who know thee justly dear for rarest genius, and for sterling worth, unchanging friendship, warmth of heart sincere, and wit that never gave an ill thought birth, nor ever in its sport infixed a sting. To us who have admired and loved thee long, it is a proud as well as pleasant thing to hear thy good report, now borne along upon the honest breath of public praise. We know that with the elder sons of song in honoring whom thou hast delighted still, thy name shall keep its course to after days. The empty pertness and the vulgar wrong, the flippant folly, the malicious will, which have assailed thee, now or heretofore, find, soon or late, their proper meed of shame. The more thy triumph, and our pride the more, when whittling critics to the world proclaim, in lead, their own dolt incapacity. Matter it is of mirthful memory to think, when thou wert early in the field, how doughtily small Geoffrey ran at the A-tilt, and broke a bulrush on thy shield. And now, a veteran in the lists of fame, I ween, old friend, thou art not worse bested when with a maudlin eye and drunken aim, dullness hath thrown a Jerdan at thy head. Leigh Hunt attacked Jerdan in the Examiner in a number of rejected epigrams, signed T.A.C. later. He also took up the matter in the Tatler, in the first number of which the following Inquest Extraordinary was printed. Last week a porter died beneath his burden. Verdict, found carrying a gazette from Jerdan. Moxon's shop without customers was at 64 New Bond Street, the candle of the Lord. In my large edition, I gave this reference very thoughtlessly to Proverbs Roman 20, 27. It is really to Job Roman 29, 3. The French heroism, the July Revolution, in which the Bourbons were rooted and Louis Philippe placed on the throne,